Knicks trying to make it 4 in a row under Jeff Van Gundy, who's been an assistant coach 7 years here. Here is Williams on the receiving end of Charlie Ward, and the Knicks lead by 6. And Larry Brown wants a timeout. That was Willie Anderson. And the crowd on its feet, giving each other a high five.
Here's Ward. Actually, Workman fumbles the ball, turns it over. Ward looks down court, gets Willie Anderson flying on the left side.
6 in a row run off by the Knicks. Now it's time for tonight's Dutch Boy in the paint. Pacers have outscored the Knicks by 6. But Ewing has outplayed Smits, which shows you what the bench has done for Indiana. Ewing with 21 points. Reggie Miller back in. Crowd on its feet. John Stark on the rebound. McKee lost it. And now they rule that it was last touched by J.R. Reed on the deflection.
Yeah, he reached in there, and now Jess Kersey's going to go over and
overrule him, perhaps?
Perhaps.
Yes, he will. It'll be Knicks ball as Larry Brown appeals to Jess Kersey.
Let's see if he's right.
I think it's a good call.
Good call.
It was off McKee. So John Starks is in. Anthony Mason is in. Reed gets a hand. And you've been on J.R. Reed's contribution all night tonight. 10 points. Good defensive job. Starks controlling the ball. And a steal by Antonio Davis. 80-75. Reggie Miller bumps Starks. No call. Jackson for 3. He hits it. And Indiana now trails New York by 2. 80-78 with 5.5 to go.
And we've seen so many of these games played exactly like this. Big plays at the end of the game. Tight games. We're in the 80-point game. I thought this game would go to 90. I don't think it's going to go to 90.
Well, it hasn't since Jeff Van Gundy has taken over. No team has scored more than 89 against the New York Knicks. By the way, Reggie Miller has 7 assists to go along with his 18 points. 7 on the shot clock. Ewing from the baseline. Nice touch by Patrick Ewing, who's got 25 points.
And Anthony Mason spinning, getting the ball in the lane, and they have to spot up positions. Making that play as that point forward.
And the Pacers are going to need Miller's shooting before it's over. In the meantime, Mark Jackson is giving the Pacers a tremendous boost. He has scored 8 of his 10 points here in the fourth quarter, including 2 from downtown. And the Knicks lead is down to 1. There's the 3-point shooting. No one picked up Mason inside. It was Dale Davis's responsibility, but he lost it.
That's the problem when you start rotating. You get into problems with that pick and roll. And a smart club will dive their big guy right in the lane. You saw it right there.
Mason now with 16, and the Knicks lead by 3. Miller is fouled. And with Harper rejected by Herb Williams. And into the hands of Anthony Mason. 5 blocks tonight for Herb Williams. Here's Williams. Wide open Starks. That's his 4th from downtown, and Larry Brown calls a timeout. Listen to the crowd as the Knicks lead by 4. Knicks leading the Pacers by 4, and we asked John Starks what his opinion was of their new coach, Jeff Van Gundy.
Oh, Jeff has all the credentials to be a head coach. You know, he's very astute of the game. He understands what situations is happening out there on the court. You know, I was trying to gauge him in the Chicago game and watch how he did things as the game got tight. I wanted to see if his hand was going to start shaking, but it didn't. And, you know, and that's a good sign. He can withstand the pressure.
Well, John Starks was not that upset, of course, of the coaching change because Don Nelson had taken Starks out of the starting lineup in place of Hubert Davis. who has been injured now with a hyperextended knee, expected back any day. And what Don Nelson said publicly, he says Hubert Davis is a better player than John Starks. It's as simple as that. That didn't sit well with Starks, nor Patrick Ewing, who is a good friend of Starks on the team.
Yeah, that gets to be a problem when you start saying this player isn't quite as good, and it didn't bode well for Don Nelson.
Knicks lead by 4. Starks, by the way, has hit his last 4 from downtown. Harper controlling, though, at the point. 3:05 remaining in the fourth quarter. Patrick Ewing goes in with the basket. The Indiana Pacers have offered very little resistance down the middle for Ewing and the Knicks tonight.
He's had his way with Spitz and almost everybody getting into the lane.
Reggie Miller fires a long 3, so Miller keeps the Pacers in the game. They trail 89-86. Miller now with 23 points and 3 from downtown. As everyone expected, this great rivalry, last 3 years in the playoffs, plus the regular season going down to the wire. Patrick Ewing with a turnaround, and the Knicks again up by 5. 29 points for Ewing. Here is Miller drawing the foul with a scoop. Misses the second attempt. He's got 24 points, and it's 91-87 New York as we get close to the 2-minute mark. Setting a screen was Mason. Miller stays with him, however, with Harper. Starks finds Harper. On Harper hits a 2. His foot was on the line, but the Knicks have extended their lead to 7 now, 94-87. And the Pacers are going to need some offense in a hurry. That was a 2-point basket, as we said. McKee. Where would the Pacers be without Derek McKee and his 20 points tonight?
He's been a guy who's been struggling for him, but you're right. He has had a terrific night tonight.
93-89 is the correct score with less than a minute and a half to play. Off the hand of Jackson with 14 on the shot clock. And the Knicks want a timeout. And we'll come back with the reset on the timeouts and the foul situation with 1:25 remaining in the fourth quarter. Minute 25 remaining in the fourth. The Knicks lead 93-89. The Pacers have 2 full timeouts remaining. The Knicks have 2 timeouts plus the 20, and neither team has a foul to give. In the game right now for the Knicks, John Starks, Derek Harper, Patrick Ewing, Herb Williams, and Anthony Mason. The Pacers have Reggie Miller, Derek McKee, Mark Jackson, Dale Davis, and Antonio Davis.
And right now the Pacers desperately need a stop.
Season series 1-1 with 1 game remaining after this one. Ewing guarded by McKee, lost it out of bounds. Costly turnover. Ewing gets a technical foul as he thought that the ball was off the foot of Derek McKee, and so a costly technical called against Patrick Ewing. And Rick Smits getting set to come back in the game for the Pacers.
Wouldn't it be ironic that he hits a big basket here, but Larry going to an offensive guy because he needs a score on this possession.
It looked to be off Ewing's right foot. The official right there. Miller made the technical to bring the Pacers to within 3. Reggie now with 25 points. Ewing has 29 in the ball game. Pacers control down by 3. Mark Jackson a 1-4 offensive alignment, breaking out of the screen. Miller is short, off of Smits's hands, and the Knicks control. And a foul at the other end, and the Knicks will get a chance at the line with 1 minute remaining. And that is the 3rd on Dale Davis.
Take a look here. Miller had 3 screens to come off, and there's Smits. One of those nights when it hits you in the head, you've got a problem.
Herb Williams 3 for 4 from the line. Has had a big game tonight for the Knicks. Playing a good deal in the lineup at the same time as Patrick Ewing.
Yeah, it's an interesting move because, you know, when I was in Jersey and we played against the Knicks, Herb Williams did an outstanding job backing up Patrick Ewing. And then this year, he kind of lost all minutes. I thought maybe it was age or had an injury, but now he's been a very effective player, at least tonight, and I think it's definitely in their plans.
25 minutes tonight. Miller off the screen, misses a three, and the rebound by Ewing. And a foul. 48.5 remaining, and the Knicks fans can smell a victory. And Rick Smits is fouled out of the game. Got to be one of the lowlights of Rick Smits' season and maybe his career, having scored only 3 points in 18 minutes, 1 for 7 from the free throw line. Interesting, when Rick Smits and Reggie Miller scored 20 apiece, the Pacers are undefeated this year at 11-0. Well, Miller took care of his part of the bargain with 25, but Smits checked in with only 3.
Smits had no chance because he spent most of the night right where we just saw him, on the bench, deep foul trouble, and really couldn't get in the game.
And Ewing hits the free throws. He's got 31 and a timeout. So whichever center has got into foul trouble has been a big boon to the other team. 102 to 99, and that's the way it ends, says Jeff Van Gundy with a high five with Derek Harper. Has brought the Knicks to their 4th straight victory in a grueling win over the Indiana Pacers. The final score, the New York Knicks 102, the Pacers 99. And so the Knicks now move to within 1 game of the 3rd place Pacers in the Eastern Conference. Right now, let's send it out to Kevin Kiley.
Thank you, Dick. Patrick, 4 straight under Jeff Van Gundy. What's been the difference?
Well, it feels good. You know, we're back to the way that, you know, doing things that we're accustomed to. We're back to getting our work ethic back. And things are just looking up. We got, you know, all the bickering and all the things that was happening before is all gone. And it's a new start.
I know you like Van Gundy. I know you realize you're playing for the guy's job, for his future, for the rest of the year. How much does that mean to you and the rest of the Knicks?
Well, we believe in Jeff. We think he's an outstanding coach. And, you know, if he gets a job, we feel that he's the right man for it.
The previous coach said that maybe you should be a secondary player at this age, and maybe somebody else should be the best player. How do you feel about that?
Well, like I said before, you know, I think that at this stage of my career, you know, my body feels good, my mind, my heart, and my skills are having diminished. And, you know, I don't think I deserve to be the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th Arsenal team. I deserve to be 1, especially at crunch time.
Well, you played like it tonight, Patrick. Good game.
Thank you very much.
All right, back to you, Dick.
All right, Kevin, and if Patrick is 1, maybe this guy is 2. Missed his first 2 shots, then hit his last 6, including 4 3-pointers. John Starks, how does it feel? Looks like the Knicks are aggressive again, back on the track that they lost, right?
No question. You know, the coaching change was a positive move for this organization. You know, we had to get back to playing Knicks style of basketball, and, you know, that's evidence over the last 4 or 5 ball games how we playing.
Do you want to return to being the beast of the East, as they say?
Well, you know, we want to get back to playing that aggressive style of defense, which we are famous for. I think it starts with that, then our offense comes second.
Yeah, you're a club that depends on your defense, and the offense has to come, but you're really moving the ball and doing some outstanding. How about starting, not starting?
Well, like I said, once the coaching change was made, I went to Jeff and told him that I wouldn't have a problem with Hubert standing in the starting lineup because he's playing well. I didn't want to disturb his game. You know, right now I'm playing pretty good basketball right now, so, you know, whatever happens, happens.
John, it's always turbulent in playing in New York, as you know. It's the nature of the city. And the question is, with Van Gundy, the honeymoon is here. The team has won 4 in a row. Can the New York Knicks withstand personal ego to get in the way so you can sustain it the rest of the way, honestly?
I think so. Everybody is committed, especially the core veterans that's been here over the last 4 or 5 years. We understand the great opportunity that we have right now with Jeff at the helm. He has Don Chaney there to back him up, so, you know, and the coaching staff is doing a wonderful job. You know, we just have to stay consistent. I think that's the most important thing. If we can stay consistent throughout these next 17 ball games, how many ball games we have left, then we should be in the hunt.
Let me ask you a question. How do you really feel about playing Reggie Miller? Do you like Reggie, or you dislike him?
I like playing against him. You know,
It lights a fire?
Huh?
It lights a fire?
Oh, no question. You know, Reggie, he's going to come in here, and you know he can shoot the basketball. He do a great job of running picks for him. So all game long, I had to fight through picks. You know, I just have to stay with him and get help. You know, I love playing against him. You know, he's a challenge for me, and I like to accept the challenge.
Well, you got a tough schedule coming up, and starting with the Bulls tomorrow. They want to get a little revenge, but hey, if you play like this, sky's the limit, right?
Oh, no question. You know, we just want to get back to playing, you know, our style of basketball, and you know, we just, you know, happy to be in the situation that we're in right now.
We've got you 3 straight Wednesdays.
Totally, we have a great relationship.
You make sure that you keep this game on your mind at all times. Make sure that you go out there and perform to your best, you know, night in and night out. And as a player, you can respect a man like that. You know, he's in there to win.
The thing that I know, I think, better than most is what outstanding character he has. He's a man of great loyalty and integrity, dignity. I think he's great for the profession of coaching, and I really learned a lot from him in all those areas, and I think he's one of the best coaches in team sport history. I think he'll go down that way, and I really feel that he gave New York 4 great years of all-out effort, and I was sorry to see that it ended so bitterly.
Knicks head coach Jeff Van Gundy learned the coaching profession from Pat Riley. Today, the student matches wits with his mentor for the first time. Van Gundy is mindful of friendship, and in this case, kinship as well.
It's not just Coach Riley there, it's my brother being there, and that may even be more difficult. But I think, thankfully, the game doesn't come down to coaching. Because we're at a huge disadvantage there. So, you know, thank God it comes down to the players on the floor.
When you face somebody that you've idoled and that you've worked under for a long period of time, I think you want nothing more than to defeat them. As much respect as you have for them, you definitely want to go out and try and knock them down.
Jeff looks up to Pat. You know, Pat has taught him a lot, and, you know, we run a lot of the same things, and we're going to be coming down calling the same plays. It's like we're going against each other in practice.
These two teams haven't met since well before Riley revamped the Heat with several big deals. Now in a game with playoff implications on both sides, the Knicks could deal their old coach a crucial defeat this afternoon.
You know, and naturally I want to beat them, you know, because we have, you know, we're trying to get ourselves ready for the playoffs also. But in a way, I would love for them to make it, you know, because of Pat and also Alonzo. I think Charlotte was crazy for letting Alonzo get away, and I want him to make it.
As much as I respect and admire Coach Riley, I definitely want our basketball team to knock him down, because this is what it's all about. He'll have his team pumped up because he knows that it's a huge game for him, and I think we'll definitely be ready to play against Coach Riley Saturday.
Pat Riley wasn't heard from directly in that piece. These days, he won't address the circumstances surrounding his departure from the Knicks. Won't do it on camera. He's preferring to concentrate on the Heat now and in the future.
Right, Bob, we know there were many reasons for Pat Riley's departure down to Miami. They gave him part ownership of the Heat. He got the power that the Knicks wouldn't give him. But of course, one of the major reasons is that he saw that the Knicks were no longer a championship team. Smart move, Pat.
Well, they're in the middle of the pack, 4th in the East, just a game ahead of Cleveland, which is 5th, only 2 ahead of Atlanta, which presently occupies the 7th slot. So in light of those circumstances, something Patrick Ewing said on that piece made your ears perk up. It might have been innocent, but you took it a little bit differently, right?
I definitely did. I can't believe that Patrick says that he hopes the Heat make the playoffs. I mean, this is the team that they're playing today. If they make it at the expense of the Knicks, a team that needs every win that they can get. And I know how much Patrick loves his old coach, and his protege, Alonzo Mourning, like to see him do well. But if I'm Patrick's teammate, I couldn't tolerate having that as part of the conversation, not on the record.
A little known fact about well-known people. You know, we know this is typical Pat Riley, but he forbid Alonzo Mourning to talk to Patrick Ewing during this season. Does not want that friendship to interfere with the competitiveness.
Yeah, that is prototypically Pat Riley. Closing in on the tip-offs now. Important game in Miami for both the Knicks and the Heat, obviously, in the Eastern Conference playoff.
33, 7 foot from Georgetown, Patrick Ewing. The head coach of the Knicks.
Tight here in the first 2 minutes. John Starks left alone. Got it. John Starks can make that open shot. He's a good three-point shooter, has a string of 43 consecutive games in which he's knocked down a three, at least one.
46% of his field goal attempts are triples. Willis bumps with Ewing. Ewing got a piece. And here comes Starks. We're tied at 2 minutes played. Ewing in transition, right at so. And that's Patrick Ewing's first field goal. He'd come running right back, down 4-2. Owens twists it in.
Again, driving past Mason, Billy Owens with a circus sweep off the board, came under the basket, got that one spun off the glass and down.
This is Anthony Mason, who leads the NBA in minutes played. On the spin inside, rejected by Alonzo Mourning. Mason gets it out to Oakley. This is Harper, 3 to shoot. Ewing beats the clock. And a 3-second violation on the Knicks.
Good defense by the Heat. Terrific job by Kevin Willis to force Mason toward Mourning, where he can get the block. That's good team play at the defensive end.
Not enough postage. Return to sender. Alonzo Mourning, 3rd in the league in block shots this year. Better than 3 a night. He's got 1 out of the way. Double team comes from Oakley, but cut by Willis.
Good opportunity. Good pass by Mourning. Short jump hook by Willis has to go down.
Starks lost his concentration and the basketball. Rex Chapman was quick to point out after the early shooting, not good for either side.
Both teams playing terrific defense.
Derek Harper spinning, finds Ewing. Patrick will knock that down all night. 4 points for Ewing. He averages just under 22 again. Quick hitter to Mourning. Oakley took it away. Charles Oakley, terrific team defender. So the Knicks by 2 now. That was Miami's 2nd turnover of the quarter. Mourning says he wants to force Ewing to take that jumper 2 or 3 feet further away than he'd like, just like that one.
Exactly. Excellent defense by Zoe.
These two guys know each other's moves extremely well. Rex by Starks for the runner. Ewing brings it down for New York. He'd have made just 2 of their first 9 shots. Mason turning his back on Kevin Willis. No help coming. Mace to the paint with a left hand. And he rolls it home. Anthony Mason's first bucket. He is a 55% shooter from the field. He's been a major weapon for the Knicks.
That's why he shoots such a high percentage, Eric. He gets to the paint. He can back you down. He's strong as a bull. Can get the position he wants. Has soft touch for those little jumpers.
Owens trying to elude Charles Oakley. Now Mason switches off. Owens sets up and Mason knocks it away with those quick hands. Turnovers, and that's the 2nd block by Zoe. Bimbo on his horse. Rex on the cross-court pass, the triple. Billy Owens put it on the floor, got in trouble with it. The up fake and the bucket.
That's Billy Owens' strength. Not only in the open court and at the box, but good off the offensive board.
He had 6 offensive rebounds in his comeback game against San Antonio. 14 total rebounds in that one and 4 already in this one. Starks for Ewing, a 20-footer, short. He looked to tie it up. They're down 2. Zoe bottled up and fouled. John Starks on the help reached in, and that is the first foul of the game tonight. Knicks by Rex Chapman playing very well recently at home. Last 3 games averaging 21. Oh boy, the hook dunk by Ewing over Mourning. That's 6 for Patrick, and the Knicks by 4.
Sheer power by Ewing on that one. Patrick's pumped up for this game.
Mourning knows he must keep Ewing out of the lane if he hopes to win the battle. Here comes Zoe. Got the bucket, but it won't count. An offensive foul on Alonzo Mourning.
Let's take a look at Patrick Ewing on this move across the lane. Slams it down with the left hand. And then Zoe gets an offensive foul charge call at the other end.
Charles Oakley, the man taking the charge. The fourth Heat turnover this first quarter. 5:15 left in it. John Starks on the drive, blocked by Mourning. His third reject of the first period. 3-on-3. Rex by Oakley, lost it, but a bump on Sir Charles. First on Oakley, second on the Knicks. And a side out of bounds for Miami. Heat are down 2 despite shooting just 4 for 12 so far. Charles Smith put in the game for defense on Billy Owens. Mourning for the jumper. And Oakley fending off Willis for his first rebound of the game. And we get an offensive foul, this one on New York. And it's on Charles Smith.
Number 6, Charles Smith.
And Charles Smith, who missed the Vancouver game recently with a bruised right hip, had a good game last Wednesday in a starting role against his old club, the Clippers. 20 points and 8 rebounds. But once again, Charles Smith looking to find his niche with this Knick club.
See the Heat out-rebounding the Knicks to this point in the game. That's a key factor.
Defensive board by Oakley. The long lead ahead. Picked off by Owens. Playing free safety. And out with it comes Billy O. Rex in the Willis.
Great pass. Great pass by Rex Chapman.
This is Ewing. Patrick Ewing on that baseline. He has 8 on 4 for 7 shooting. 3-point Knick lead. 3 minutes to go in our first period. Coles on the pull-up. Bucket.
Excellent. Excellent shot by Bimbo. Charles Oakley jumped right in his face. Bimbo still went up and over.
Ewing again open, and again knocking down the perimeter shot. Mourning helping out, leaving Ewing free.
He loves that short range 6 to 10 foot jump shot. He's almost perfect with it.
Ewing has 10 points. Billy Owens a little heavy on the handle. Saved in, and Bimbo Coles hustles to it. With the Heat trailing by 3 points. Evan Willis draws a crowd. Mourning turns, faces, and scores.
That's great ball movement by the Heat. Started inside with Willis on the far side of the floor. Got swung to Chapman into Mourning for the little soft 10-foot jump hop.
Battle lines being drawn here in the first quarter. It's sold out Miami Arena. And
the game in 4 rebounds.
Ewing takes Mourning to the middle. The runner over Zoe, right on the money for Patrick Ewing, who now has 12 points. He's made 6 of his 9 shots. Knicks by 3. Thomas to work. Zoe going up and going down.
Stuffer. Thomas with a good penetration drive. Shot came up short. Zoe right there. Put it down in with force.
Knicks were out rebounded last night by 15 boards. They allowed the Bulls 21 offensive rebounds. And here tonight, the Heat getting their share of offensive boards. Lonzo Mourning upset. Ewing wasn't called for an offensive foul. He nearly threw it away. Askins for 3.
Floor and threw it down with gusto.
Oh, that gate went up. The toll bridge operator wasn't watching, and Mourning with a charge to the goal. Minute into the second quarter, it's a 6-point Heat lead. Ewing backing down, nice spin for the jump hook. Ewing has put on a low post clinic so far. He has 14 points.
He's shooting with great rotation on his shot. He's getting to the point that he needs. He's getting what he's after, Eric, to this point of the game.
Miami by 4. Off the dribble, Mourning draws the foul. The Knicks come running 3-on-2 as Askins hustles back. Hubert Davis bottoms up.
Hubert Davis really stroking the ball well, shooting just under 49% for the season.
Ewing and Mourning both on the bench. Oakley sends it out to Hubert Davis. Soft shooting young man out of North Carolina. Davis with his second hoop. He averages just under 9. He has 4, and the Knicks lead it by 1.
He's averaging just under 9, playing 20 minutes a game, too, Eric. That's pretty efficient use of your minutes.
The score is tied, gang, at 34 each. My apologies. Oakley on after Willis. Myers for 3. Ricochets off to Gary Grant, the former Los Angeles Clipper in his 8th NBA season. His first 7 with the Clips. He signed with the Knicks in November as a free agent. Mason on the pump fake. He drew the foul on Kurt Thomas. Loose ball taken by the Knicks. Ewing, a three-pointer. And Mason knocks it out to Grant. Knicks had only 4 offensive rebounds last night. They are much more present on the glass tonight. Ewing bounces off. Owens able to rescue the rebound with a Heat down 1. Here comes Billy O. They run at Bimbo in the Willis. Over Ewing.
Nice. Great footwork.
Miami leading by 1. Lob for Ewing. Oh, by accident it went in.
The Knicks have repeatedly run that same kind of play. With the postman being overplayed, he spins to the basket and the ball is put right there. Well executed by the Knicks.
18 points for Patrick Ewing. New York by 1.
Hard double. Triple.
8 to shoot. In the zone. Gotta go. And he hits.
So crowding him.
To the lane. Got close. And he rips the rim down with that dunk. Woo. Terrific aggressive take by Ewing, who now has 20 points, going right at Mourning. And the Knicks back in front by 1. This sellout crowd buzzing off the Ewing maneuver.
Well, there have been a number of sheer brilliant plays in this game. Watch this one.
So wants it back for certain.
Can't get it. Baseline. He's got him baseline.
Anthony Mason covers up the rebound for the Knicks. Knicks by 1. Minute 30 left in the half.
Valley Total Fitness, the largest health club in North America, is now open in Coral Springs. A complete state-of-the-art facility with equipment and services to meet your every fitness need. Valley has a full schedule of aerobics from beginner to advanced, plus personal training, childcare, and a cardio training area. Join during our grand opening celebration and save on our best memberships. Register to win a free 1-year lease on a 1996 Pathfinder from Bill Daly Nissan. Valley Total Fitness, Riverside Drive at Atlantic Boulevard.
This has been a defensive battle, as you may have anticipated. Ewing got the bucket and the foul. Patrick Ewing, the game's best scorer. Mason spinning and scoring.
Mason's tough.
Super work by Anthony
tonight.
You bet your life. Bimbo Coles with 11 points. 4 here in the third. Miami by 2. Hubert Davis finding Charles Smith. Charlie Ward to the lane, out to Ewing. Nice setup by Ward.
Excellent, excellent. Charlie Ward has a game, Eric. I think he has an NBA future, a good one. He's not getting many minutes.
Ward in just his second year. A late first-round pick by the Knicks 2 years back. By the way, Ewing now with 27. We're tied at 61. Under a minute left, third quarter. Shot clock at 5. Coles, a long 3. And Ewing snares the rebound. Now the Knicks with a chance to jump in front. Smith.
Bimbo, Coles, what a rake and steal.
Oh my. Rex for 3. Billy Owens with the offensive board. Pat Riley wants the last shot of the third.
Good control. Good control by the Heat. Hold for that last one. Tie game.
So.
Yes.
In the third quarter for Alonzo Mourning, 21 through 3, and the Heat take the lead to quarter 4. Help from Oakley. Billy squeezes it up and in.
Billy Owens did that against two tough defenders. But that's what he can do. When he gets his low post game going, look out.
6-point Heat lead, 2 minutes into the fourth quarter. This is Mason.
He wants it. He wants it on the floor, Eric.
Against Zoe. Here's Ward for three. Yes. Charlie Ward, his 10th triple of the year and his first points of the night.
And Pat Riley did not want that double team from Rex Chapman.
No real need for it. Here's Chapman trying to get it back, and an offensive foul against more Knicks. He spent 4 years on Pat Riley's Knicks staff. Two talented coaching brothers. Their father, Bill, a college coach for 30 years.
Oh, well executed. Little curl play by Charles Oakley. Billy Owens trailing the play, got it dead at the hoop.
5 straight points for New York. A 1-point lead for Miami with a little more than 9 minutes left. John Starks rebounding the Rex Chapman miss. This is Mason guarded by Askins.
Got some mismatches out here.
Owens and Oakley battling. Askins with a rebound. And the Heat hold on to their 1-point lead.
Keith Askins is establishing a reputation of the hardest player in the NBA.
Owens, nice catch, maneuvering inside. Mason knocked it out of bounds. 6 left on the shot clock.
Watch Charlie Ward on this play. Give a little bullet pass as Charles Oakley ran that curl that we talked about earlier.
Now Charlie Ward, the quarterback, making the scoring pass. Dimbo Cole's back in for Miami. 8.5 minutes left. Ward with a steal and the lead for Starks. Touchdown, New York. And Pat Riley wants the timeout. A 20-second timeout for Miami. Charlie Ward making
one at the break, fourth quarter. Great pass. Starts to Ewing from a hammer. Knicks on a 16-3 run. Then Riley watching a guy he never played in New York, Charlie Ward. Yeah, the quarterback. Not a bad guard these days. Big shot. In fact, Ward made a couple of big plays. 88-79. Ewing 37. Knicks beat Riley for the second time this year. Charlie Ward used exclusively by Riley as a bench ornament. Scored 6 points, 4 assists. Also had 2 steals, providing a definite spark.
Mason with his second basket. Penny Hardaway came up big in November when Shaq was out for the entire month. The Magic won 13 of 15 games, and Hardaway averaged 27. So with 2 seconds on the clock, Scott throws up an air ball. The 24-second clock elapsed. So the Magic 0 for 4 from the field to start the game. Harper kicks it out to Oakley. Pass to Starks, and he hits a 3.
Excellent ball movement. And last night in Indiana, Starks and Oakley got into a verbal match on the floor, and it kind of sparked their club, which I think a lot of times good clubs, that can happen to them. They understand, and they get a little adrenaline going.
No one is surprised by the fact that Starks and Oakley had an open argument on the bench. That's the way this team has been.
Yeah, exactly, and not too different from a lot of good teams. And a lot of times it does spark them. There's, of course, Starks lining up, squaring up for the 3.
Starks then picks up the personal foul. Anderson loses control. Hardaway is getting a double team. Shooting over Harper. They are keeping Hardaway out of the flow offensively in the early start. Harper with a stop and go misses the short jumper. Rebound contact. Here's Penny Hardaway. Knicks back defensively, however. It's 7-1 in favor of New York, and a 3-point basket is good. Loses it into the hands of Oakley. Oakley over Grant. Harper with the follow. Nice follow by Derek Harper to give the Knicks a 9-5 lead. You notice that Anthony Mason brings the ball up against the pressure, but when there isn't the press, the Knicks want the ball in the hands of the guards. A fine turnaround by Scott, who has 5 points now of the 7 scored by the Magic. Ewing not gotten a shot off yet in this game. Working against contact. Grant doubles in the last minute. Ewing off the front rim, and here come the Magic. Hardaway filling the lane. Nick Anderson will go in and score. Nick Anderson on a foray ties the score at 9.
A very aggressive move. It was 2 against 3, but he decided he had the position to score.
Mason posting up now against Nick Anderson. Horace Grant with a rebound. Score is tied at 9, 6.5 to go in the opening period, and Horace Grant has hit from the perimeter, as he will do every now and then, and the Magic on a 10-2 run have their first lead of the game.
They're shooting very well at the perimeter. They didn't start out that way, but they are now. But to continue to stay in this position, they're going to have to keep making shots because they're not getting second shots offensively.
And they didn't there, as Ewing missed shooting over Koncak, who will be a presence at 7 feet for Patrick Ewing tonight. Spin move by Hardaway. Halfway through this opening period, Koncak misses from the corner. He was wide open, so the Knicks with a chance to tie. Starks, straight no-look pass to Oakley, and the score is tied at 11.
Matching up, a problem for the Magic.
So, Penny Hardaway, Koncak with a screen. They get it out to Grant, shooting over Oakley, and Grant is 2 for 2 from the perimeter, and the Magic lead 13-11. Grant has hit 56% of his shots in his last 5 games. He is on a tear. He had 23 Sunday in the win over the Knicks. Starks picked up by Scott. Oakley going strong to the hoop. And this is again, the Knicks have had a lot of shots, close in, a lot of opportunities that haven't fallen for them. Magic leading by 2 with 4:45 remaining in the first quarter. Knicks won the 1 game here. The Magic won both games played in Orlando this year against these teams. Here's Grant again, this time short. Oakley clears, and here is the big guy, Patrick Ewing, and he'll get a rise out of the crowd. Patrick Ewing coming in averaging 22.7, and we have our third tie at 13 as we get close to the 4-minute mark of this first quarter. Baseline, quick shot by Hardaway. Penny trying to get... That's not enough, though, if the Knicks hope to hang in there with Orlando. Hardaway with a turnaround from the baseline, Mason the rebound. Starks on the offensive end, finds Oakley open for the jumper. Charles Oakley brings the Knicks to within 2. Oakley now with 15 points. Sorry, Koncak is going to put it up, and it's going to be blocked by Ewing. Boy, the Knicks just strangled Orlando on that defensive end, and Harper with the layup, and a timeout called by Brian Hill as the Knicks have fought back from a 14-point deficit to tie it at 54.
The wrong guy has in his hands. Koncak trying to go get a shot, and there's Ewing, of course, blocking, retrieving, quick pass to Starks, outlet to Harper, scores it.
7-0 run by the Knicks. Missed inside by... And a couple of the players go over the side. You got to watch out for photographers and sharp objects as Nick Anderson helps Charles Oakley back. Anderson had taken the shot. It is still Orlando ball, and Anderson will inbound.
Well, here's Anderson working to get the shot off. He gets it up short. Oakley, as you'll see, tries to retrieve it out of bounds, and he and Anderson collide, and they go over cameraman. Scary.
Scott, this is a wild shot. So we have our 5th tie of the game at 54. Knicks trying to break it. They opened up with a 7-1 lead in this game. But they have been on a tear in the late waning moments of the first half, and again here in the third. Mason misses the reverse layup with a fine move to the baseline. Here's Horace Grant over Ewing, and that's the way. Starks is back with him. Here's Grant filling the lane, lays it in. Is not there. Grant hits, and the Knicks want a timeout as Horace Grant now with 19 points. Double team on Anderson. Here's Grant, and he hits. Ewing. Now, one. Scott hits, and he had Harper's hand in his face.
And Dennis Scott's really feeling, and Hardaway is finding him off screens wherever he can.
18 points for Dennis Scott. Grant with 21. Those are the 2 high scorers for the Magic. Starks misses a 3, and the rebound by Scott. Magic lead by 10. They were up by 14. The Knicks came back to tie it up, could not take the lead, and now Orlando again with a 10-point lead with under 2 minutes remaining. Hot shooting by the Magic here in this third quarter. Air ball tossed up by Scott. Harper has contact. And the Knicks are just firing away and missing. And this is it. Hubert Davis in the game. Starks and Davis, and Starks throws the ball away into the hands of Penny Hardaway.
And what a great defensive play. Hardaway scrambling back to take away that pass in the passing lane defensively.
Winding down to a minute remaining in the third quarter. Grant finds an open Scott. And Herb Williams the rebound. And Starks will bring it up. He's got Davis, Oakley, Mason, and Williams. Under a minute to go and 16 on the shot clock. The lead is 10 for the Orlando Magic. They're playing without Shaquille O'Neal, missing this game and another, perhaps due to the death of his maternal grandmother. Mason with a second shot converts. Where would the Knicks be without Mason and Oakley tonight?
And mostly in the lane, waiting in on second shots when double teams occur or help defense. That's the only way, really, in reality, they've been able to score. Got no scoring from Ewing, nothing from Starks outside, nor Davis.
And a foul committed by Open. Scott in the corner. Hits the three. That's his fifth of the game, 73-62. Starks. Final heave is off the mark, and the Orlando Magic gets the hoop. Here's Hubert Davis. Hubert Davis, the fourth-year guard from North Carolina. And it won't be long before he gets back into the swing of things. 11-point game.
And the Knicks using Starks and Davis in the same lineup because they're struggling offensively, putting Davis in at the 2 guard.
So in effect, they don't have a point guard in there. Wild toss, losing his control with Scott, and here is Davis at the other end. So 2 baskets in a row by Hubert Davis brings the Knicks to within 9. And watching proceedings is Patrick Ewing, and he's 6 points. Tipped by Williams. Another steal. Herb Williams.
2 steals by Herb Williams. Now you wouldn't expect it, but it's got this crowd going and got the Knicks into the game, and all of a sudden the Magic have thrown the ball all over the park, turnover after turnover.
As you predicted, the home team somehow gets another wind in the fourth quarter. Here is Scott working against Starks, fall away. And the tip in by Joe Wolf. Joe Wolf with a couple of big baskets here in the fourth quarter.
Weighted in from the weak side, and that's what, when your guy goes to double team, you better find a way to get to the middle of the lane if possible. He got it on the baseline that time.
9-point lead for the Orlando Magic as Mason posting up against Brian Shaw lost the ball. 2.5 minutes gone by in the fourth quarter. Shaw puts it up and hits. He put the bacon on Hubert Davis, and it was Bowie with the basket. Bowie now with 6 points, and a timeout is called.
Watch, here's the fall-away shot. Watch Joe Wolf slide in there, got his left hand, and was able to get it against the Anderson, and he just sliced the middle. And right now, the Knicks have really got to make a move.
Shaw with 10 points. He has been in a scoring drought lately from the bench, but a great baseline move by Mason, and he's got 22.
It's been there all night long. He's been able to score at will against the guy he's playing against, whether it be Dennis Scott or anyone else, and they keep going away from him, going elsewhere.
Mason coming in averaging 14 a game, has 22. Contact on the pick and roll, and a good foul by Jay. 13-point lead. Biggest lead for the Magic is 14. Knicks came back to tie it from there. Hubert Davis hits a three. That's his first of the game. And it's now 83-73. So Davis, we mentioned, had won the starting job at shooting guard when Don Nelson was still coach. Then he got hurt. And Starks has taken over as a foul is called. Mason the rebound. Knicks down by 10. That's 7 rebounds tonight for Anthony Mason. Here's Hubert Davis in the lane, throws it away. And a 3-on-2 fast break. Shaw got a little fancy behind his back to Anderson, and an offensive foul has been called. John Starks offensive. Reed working against Wolf. J.R. Reed with another big field goal, and the Magic won a timeout as the Knicks have come within